In this video, we'll be making the master patterns for the Gusset Determine the Shape on the strip construction handbag. So first you want to start with your gusset. You want to make sure that the bottom corners are rounded, no right angles on the bottom. So make sure they're rounded. They don't have to be super round. They don't have to be as round as mine, but they do need to be rounded. And you want to notch the center bottom. And then you're also going to want to notch roughly where, when you look at the bag, where the front back would meet the bottom. You don't have to have a separate bottom, but this is generally like where you would make your separate bottom. You're going to go ahead and notch there. So you have center bottom notched, and then where the bag is going to sort of meet the bottom. You're going to walk this on a test strip. So this is to determine how to make the front back master pattern. So first you'll walk from center bottom, and you're going to pin, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm writing center bottom and then the front back bottom notch. Okay, so you're gonna walk from center bottom. So walk it slowly, continue along, and then when you get to that first notch, you're going to go ahead and pin. And then keep walking, and you'll walk until you get to the top edge of the gusset. So just keep walking nice and slowly. You may want to do this a couple times to make sure you get this correct, because this is a very important part of the process. We want to make sure you get it right. So center bottom, first notch, and then the top edge of the gusset. All right, so now we can make the front back pattern, the master pattern. So I've already cut it out, exactly the shape and size and everything, but you can start with a fresh, clean piece of pattern paper, and you'll straighten the bottom edge, and then you can pin up from the center bottom, which is the bottom edge of your paper. We're just doing half of the master front back. You'll pin up where that first notch is, and then where the top edge of your gusset is. And do this while it's folded, and then you can open it up and just draw a line. These lines represent, just where things are going to fall. So that top line that you drew, you want to make sure when designing your bag that it's at least 1 inch above that first line. Okay? So if you need to pin that and draw a line, you can. But just know you want to make sure that it starts up higher. And the reason you want to do this is because you want to make sure you give yourself enough room, again, for your bag to open when you put the zipper gusset in. You want to make sure that it unzips far enough and you can get into the bag. All right, so you've done that, and now you will make the strip stay. All right, so now let's make the strip stay. Oh look, I have one here. All right, so just like the front back determine the shape, the gusset determine the shape, same thing. You want the strip stay to be the exact same size as your front back master. And the one thing you will do is once you've made it, you will reduce, these are the legs that come down, that's what we're gonna call legs. You do wanna reduce those by 1/8 of an inch. You can do that after you make the whole thing. So if you look at this, I've notched on the inside edge of the strip stay where the top edge of the gusset, that bottom gusset that you first made, you're gonna notch where that goes. So right there is where you're gonna start your new zipper top gusset. Okay, so again, it's minimum 1/2 inch wide all the way around from the lowest point, and I've notched where the top edge of the gusset, and then I also notched the center top of the strip stay right there. And now we're going to walk from the center top to the top edge of the gusset. So a scrap piece is fine, just make sure it's a straightened edge, and very carefully you're going to walk strip stay, start center top, and walk it down to that first notch. Walk it all the way down, pin it, and now this is going to be half the distance of your top zip gusset pattern, master pattern. All right, so now we have to do the width of that top zipper gusset. So it's going to be half of that bottom gusset, and then you'll measure your zipper that you're going to use, and here at the widest point, not the teeth, but the zipper pull, it's a 1/2 inch. So I want to add 1/8 to each side. So mine will be a total of 3/4 of an inch wide. So half of that, half of 3/4 is 3/8. And then half of my gusset. So my gusset right there at the top is 3 inches, so half of it is 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to take away 3/8 of that. So you can see you'll have room then to sew your zipper in between the two gusset, top zipper gusset pieces. So it will look like that when it's all done. All right, so those are your master patterns, and now you can cut everything out to make your mock-up for the strip construction. Gusset determine the shape.